So the first topic I want to talk about is that the first reactions for Wicked has come out. Now I've been really excited for this movie. I think the trailers have looked great. And from what the reactions are saying, like people are saying this is one of the best musicals of the year, one of the best movies of the year, Oscar worthy. The two lead actresses are fantastic in the movie as Wicked Wissa and Glenna. To me, this makes me even more excited for this movie. More excited for the movie Wicked, and I know this is part one because they have part two coming out next year, I believe. But I think this is great news because this just makes me more excited for this movie. And I will say this is first reactions. So first reactions with movies do tend to lean more positive, not all the time. Like yeah, Joker 2 was when the first reactions to that were like divided, and then when the first real reactions came out, it was extremely negative. So it doesn't, movies don't always tend to lean more positive with the first reactions, but most of the time they do. But this definitely makes me more excited for Wicked. Again, I think the trailers have just looked fantastic for this movie, and I think the story just looks really intriguing. And as someone who just, like I said, not the biggest Wizard of Oz person, the trailers have just really grabbed my interest. I will say this also, I haven't seen the musical Broadway play this movie is based off of. But it's great to hear first reactions that it's good with Wicked, and that could sound like end up being one of the best movies of the year, and hopefully it lives up to that when I see the movie. But this definitely makes me even more excited for Wicked. The next topic is Warner Brothers has a Game of Thrones movie in development, which I'm not surprised by this because Game of Thrones was one of the most popular shows on HBO. And you have a bunch of books. I know you had that prequel show House of Dragon, which I heard is really good. This news doesn't really interest me personally, but I know Game of Thrones has a lot of fans. And I can see a lot of people, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you'd be really excited for this. And I can see Game of Thrones being a type of property that would lend itself to a movie. I think they even showed like I heard they showed some of the House of Dragon episodes in a limited theater, like in theaters for a limited time. And I think maybe they did that with some of the Game of Thrones episodes towards the end. But I can totally understand why the Game of Thrones movie is in development. Like I used to watch that show, I really enjoyed it, but at some point I stopped watching it and never got. Not because I disliked the Game of Thrones show, I just never got around to 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 get back on the show and finish it. So this news for me isn't the most exciting news for me personally, but I'm happy for the Game of Thrones for the fans that love Game of Thrones. The next topic is that Jumanji 4 is officially coming out in 2026. And it sounds like the director of the previous two Jumanji movies and The Rock and the actress who played Nebula, Gamora's sister in the MCU, Jack Black and Kevin, it sounds like they're all expected to return. I think this is great news here because I love Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. And I thought Jumanji Next Level was a fun solid sequel to that. And I enjoyed the original Jumanji movie, but didn't love it. But Welcome to the Jungle is definitely my favorite out of the three movies. But this is great news because, like I said, I love that movie. I thought Next Level was a fun solid movie. I enjoyed the original. And I think the way the movie Jumanji Next Level ends, it definitely sets up for a sequel. Where it looks like you have the stuff from the game kind of bleeding into the real world like the original movie. So I definitely think you could do like one more Jumanji movie with this cast. And I love the characters from those movies. So I'll definitely glad to see it. That Jumanji 4 is happening. And those movies made a lot of money too. So that's no reason why I'm not surprised of doing another one. The next topic is the director of Barbie, who is working on a new set of Chronicle of Narnia movies. Which I never read the books, but I actually do love the first Chronicle of Narnia movie. When it came to Prince Caspian and the third one, those were okay, but I thought they were steps down from the first Chronicle of Narnia movie, which I did love actually. But she's pushing Greta Getaway, the director of Barbie, is pushing to get the next Chronicle of Narnia movie in the theaters and not just have it. Like she's pushing for IMAX screens where she wants to get the movie in theaters and not just not just have it be a streaming movie. Which I'm always glad to hear that because I'm somebody that always says this. I prefer to see a movie in theaters. To me, watching a movie at home is fine, but I will always be the mindset that the best experience to see a movie is in theaters. And I think Chronicles Narnia is one of those, one of those franchises where it is based on a popular book series. And it's one of those type of movies where I feel like it should be put in the theater. New Chronicles Narnia movie. I know it's like what it sounds like they're trying to do. They're set up to do multiple movies because it's multiple books. But I am so, I hope it happens. I hope Greta Gerwig that she's able to get these that because I believe it's Netflix that's doing the new Chronic of Narnia movies that they're going to be like on Netflix. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But I do hope that she's able to get them in the theaters and not just have them dump on a streaming service when it comes in the new Chronic of Narnia movie. The next topic is 3 Lego movies have been announced. So, and they already announced the directors for it. One of them is going to be directed by Patty Jenkins, who did the 2 Wonder Woman movies. Yeah, one that's going to be directed by the director who did Attack of the Block, which I've never seen, and one directed by the director who did the recent Jumanji movies. I can't say much about the director who directed that movie called Attack of the Block because I didn't look up to see what other stuff the director's done. But I mean, the other 2, I would be, excited for because you have Patty Jenkins, who directed the first Wonder Woman movie, which I did love that movie. Not so much 1984, like that movie, not a fan of. But Patty Jenkins did direct that first Wonder movie, and like I said in one of my recent topics about Jumanji 4, the director did the recent Jumanji movies. I love Welcome to the Jungle, and I had a fun time with the next level. And I know Warner Brothers lost the license rights to the Lego movies, so they aren't doing them anymore. I'm definitely curious about at least 2 of the 3. Like one of the 3 is going to be another Lego Ninjago movie, was that doesn't interest me personally. And then another one, then one of the other 2 is going to be an original movie, like the original Lego movie was going to be a new story, new characters. Which I'm definitely excited by that one. The other one there's no details released about what the third Lego movie is going to be. The one I definitely have the most interest in so far, based on information, is the one that's going to be an original story because I love that original Lego movie. And I love Lego Batman. Like, those 2 movies I thought were great. When it comes to Lego 2, the Lego Genre movie, I thought they were fine. Which is, those 2 movies, in my opinion, were fine, but which is weird that they're doing a new Lego and the Jago movie. I guess that does have a fan base, but I think that movie only made over 100, and I think that was a Lego movie that grossed the lowest out of the ones that Warner Brothers did. And it says 2 of the 3 are going to be live action, so I'm curious what that means. Because I mean, I know there was no Lego movie you had live action scenes in there with Will Ferrell, but I'm curious, is it going to be when they say live action for 2 out of 3 Lego movies, does that mean it's going to be Lego Lego characters in the real world? Was it gonna be like the original Lego movie, where it's you have some scenes in the real world and then some in the Lego world? I'm curious what that means with that headline. But I would be definitely interested to see at least the one that's gonna be an original new story. I'm curious what the third Lego movie, the third mystery one's gonna be. Because I believe it's Universal that has the rights to Lego movies now. So I mean, I could see it being maybe a Jurassic movie, like Jurassic World or Jurassic Park Lego movie, or maybe it'll be. I mean, it could be a Fast and Furious Lego movie because Universal does own Fast and Furious, or it could just be completely something different. Like I know they did that piece by piece Lego movie, which I wasn't really a fan of, but that was a biopic about a famous sinner, so it could be anything. But I think this is exciting news for if you're somebody who who likes some of those Lego movies that one was it. Obviously, like I said, it's Universal that owns the Lego rights now, and I'm definitely curious to see what they do after that Lego movie piece for piece with these other three. Even though I didn't like that movie, that was an interesting idea with piece for piece to do like a biopic Lego movie. Like again, I wasn't a fan of that movie, but I would be definitely interested to see what they do with the Lego property now when it comes to Universal owning it and these three movies. So that's all the movie topics today. Until next time, movie fans.